What a week for the Eagles in free agency, and I'm here to tell the Eagle fans and all the haters, it ain't over yet. Dallas still stinks. Go by the way, King Dingbat here. Let me say the name Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons is still out there in the free agency market, and the longer he goes without signing, the more the chances are the Eagles can nab him up. And let me tell you, to all the haters out there thinking the Eagles spent all their cap money, it hasn't happened. The Eagles have a ton of money, and they've got a lot of work still to do. This has been the most amazing offseason I can remember. It's just the way it is. Now, we're going to get into it in a second, but I got to talk about what people are probably thinking about right now. What the hell is wrong with your face? What is wrong with your face? Look at that. Look at that. What the hell happened? I'm going to tell you. I was sitting there asleep, minding my own business next to my wife, and these little gray bastard aliens came in my room, and they started trying to abduct me and levitate me up to their spaceship. But I started fighting back. I was swinging punches, haymakers, knocking the shit out of these little aliens, and they were scratching me all over the place. And then they ran away, and they left, and I fell and woke up in my bed like, what the hell happened? And my face was bleeding. That's what happened. It was crazy. Now, did that really happen? No. But it sounds good. It sounds better than what I'm about to tell you. I was sleeping, 5 in the morning. My cats decide to start chasing each other around. And they go under the bed, turn around, come up the bed, and then run across my face, scratching me. And I woke up, thought Freddy Krueger chopped my nose off. I didn't know what the hell was going on. So I know people are asking. That's what happened. All right? So now you know. Now, let's talk about things that matter. I'm sorry. I'm disgusting. Look away. Look away. Look away. I'm hideous. I know. But it is what it is. I can't do nothing about it. So, what I can do something about is I can make this next player come to the Eagles. We're going to talk it into mother humping existence, right? As Mark Holmes hit 100,000 subscribers, congratulations to him. I want to say that real quick. I am going to make Justin Simmons come to the Eagles because we're going to talk about this, okay? Justin Simmons would be the perfect next addition for the Eagles. And why do I say that? Because it's simple. The Eagles still could use another safety. Now, I know a lot of people like Reed Blankenship, and I don't dislike him. But I think Justin Simmons and C.J. Gardner-Johnson would be such a major significant addition to that secondary. It would be really, really a big-time thing. And remember, we do have Sidney Brown. I like Sidney Brown. A lot of us like Sidney Brown, but he's not coming back to like November. Something like that, November of next year. He ain't going to be ready. He ain't going to be ready to play next year at the level we need him to play. It's going to take him at least a full year to recover. So why not bring in Justin Simmons if we can? We literally tried to get him. We literally negotiated with him, but he's asking for too much money. And other teams have negotiated with him, like Tennessee, and he's been asking for too much money. This may open the door, and I've talked about this on past live streams last week, that it may open the door. The longer he's out on the free agency market, the better the chances are that he comes to Philly. Thomas R. Peterson, shout out to him. He agrees with me. He wrote this. No news is good news for the Eagles regarding safety Justin Simmons. If he isn't getting the offers expected, he may choose to join his favorite coach in Philly, Pound Eagles. This is something I would seriously watch for because the longer he's out there on the open market, teams are going to go out, they're going to make trades, they're going to sign players. The longer he's not going to get what he wants. Think similar to what C.J. Gardner-Johnson, what happened to him last year. He wanted big money, didn't get the offers, had to settle for a one-year deal in Detroit. Justin Simmons may have to do that same thing. The fact that he plays for the Eagles or would play for the Eagles for 1 year could be a perfect scenario. Vic Fangio, him and Vic Fangio, we all know, that he loves Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio loves him. Why don't they just get married? But, they do. They great history of those two together. Bringing him back with Vic Fangio for 1 year could be a perfect scenario. And if you had Justin Simmons and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and you had Reed Blankenship, coming off the bench or rotating in, that's a great safety squad to have. I think the Eagles should definitely look to do this. Now, many of the haters out here going, you got Saquon Barkley, you got Bryce Huff, you got all these guys. How are you going to afford it? How are you going to afford it? Well, you guys got problems. You got problems because it's not our fault that the Dallas Cowboys don't know how to work their cap. I mean, really, they got no cap space. They got a quarterback that doesn't restructure his contract for the team, whether he doesn't want to or they don't want to. Now you got all this stuff coming out on Dak Prescott, right? I think the Cowboys are set this whole thing up. I do. I think they set it up. Why do I say that? Because of this. Think about every time the Cowboys are dealing with a star player getting a new contract or something to do with their contract. Dez Bryant, all the stuff comes out. He's trying to get a new deal. Zeke Elliott, all the stuff comes out before he's trying to get a new deal. Now you have the same thing happening with Dak Prescott. Okay, they're talking about stuff from 2017, all coming out now when he needs to do a new contract. Just something to keep in mind. So the Cowboys, they don't know how to work the cap. They don't know how to have money, but we do. Right now, according to Sportrac, now I checked this, literally checked this like 15 minutes ago, okay? Literally checked this 15 minutes ago. This is what it's saying. Now, if you want to argue with me that it's right or it's wrong, whatever. But this is what they're saying. Sportrac's updated top 51 cap space. Top 5 cap space. I don't know what you're talking about. Washington, number 163 million. New England has 58 million. Tennessee, 55 million. Then you have the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles still have $39 million in cap space left. That is unbelievable. If that accurate number, and I have no reason to believe it's not, the Eagles have $39 million in cap space left. And people are going, how could that possibly be? How could that be when you have a guy like Saquon Barkley you just gave all that money to? Well, Saquon Barkley is only $3.9 million against the cap. The Eagles are very smart how they set it up. They set up these contracts. So the first year, they're not really getting killed against the cap. Second year, it's a little more. And then by the third or fourth year, when you can restructure, that's when their cap numbers start to really hit us. So the Eagles are sitting pretty, $39 million in cap space. You have the money to go out and get a Justin Simmons if you really want. You don't have to overpay. Just wait for it to play out. And if you do that, I think you'll be fine. This has to be, in my opinion, the greatest offseason I can remember. Just in terms of free agency. We haven't gotten to the draft yet, and we don't know what's going to happen. We still got a lot of questions. I mean, the big question now is what's going to happen with Haason Reddick? I don't know. I have a gut feeling Haason Reddick is going to come back. There was a lot of reports that there was a 2-year extension in the works. I could see that, or just a simple restructure where he gets some more money and he plays the last year of his deal out. The way I see it is this. I think that the Eagles' free agency went so good, and, they were able to land Huff. They were able to land Barkley. They were able to land C.J. Gardner-Johnson. When they're landing these top targets, and listen, 2 of my 3 top targets in free agency was Saquon Barkley and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They nailed both of them. So I think that it's gone so good that they're saying, do we really want to trade these pass rushers now? We've got a chance to go somewhere. If you keep Josh Sweat, which they renegotiated his contract, then you keep Haason Reddick, you now have 3 legit pass rushers. You have Reddick, Sweat, and you have to hope Sweat rebounds and has a rebound year, and I think he will. And then you got this kid Bryce Huff, who could be a double-digit sack guy. And then the wild card is Nolan Smith. You still have Brandon Graham. I think he can get you 5 sacks, 5.5 sacks in a year. All of a sudden, you got a very nasty pass rush, which changes everything. So, to me, the idea with Reddick is to keep him. It's to keep him. You got to keep Haason Reddick. You got to find a way to keep him because you're not going to trade him for anything that you really want. I mean, what are you going to get? A 2nd-round pick at most? That's generous, okay? That would be absolutely generous to get him for that much money. God, I hate these cuts. They look horrible. But you know what I'm saying? I need to put makeup on tomorrow or something. But we'll see. Right now, the Eagles are sitting so pretty. There's so much that they can do, and they got a lot of money to roll over next year. They're not going to spend all that cap space. Obviously, a lot of it's going to roll over, and it should. However, keep Haason Reddick, and let me tell you this, the one thing about Haason Reddick that I didn't mention, if they restructure him or give him an extension, you can add $11 million to the cap. The Eagles will get $11 million for a restructure or an extension on Haason Reddick's contract. I say do it. I say bring him back and then let's go. We got a lot of work to do. We still got positions to fill. I still think you need another linebacker. Preferably, I'd like to get another veteran linebacker in here and then get a free agency, then in a draft a linebacker early. I still think you need to get another safety, which I'm hoping it will be Justin Simmons. And listen, I like Simmons. I wanted Cameron Curl. He went to the Rams. Yeah, he went to the Rams. But I'll still take Justin Simmons. He's still out there. Why not? They've got work. They still need another wide receiver. I don't look at Devontae Parker as a true number 3. I see him as a number 4 wide receiver, whether they address that in the draft or not. There's still a lot of work. There's still a lot of money, and it's going to be awesome. Now, I will say this. I had a bunch of channel membership stuff to do today because I'm behind from all the streams that we were running during the week. So I'm working on those channel membership videos, trying to get those done. I figured, you know what, it's been a while since I put out a video. Let's get a video out. I will be streaming Tuesday for certain. That's already, I already have that day off. And then tomorrow, it's kind of, I got to play it by ear. I put in for 5 hours of vacation time on Monday. I just have to have it play out to see whether or not I'll get it. If I do, I will be streaming again tomorrow and Tuesday. So look for that. Should be a lot of fun. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. Okay, so there's no question that I want another wide receiver. I want a third wide receiver. One of the guys I don't want is Quez Watkins. ML Football saying that the Eagles are showing interest in re-signing Quez Watkins, and they have open communication with his agent, Jason Davis. Listen, I have nothing against Quez. I don't think he's that good. I want a better third wide receiver. What I want to do in the draft is I want to go get one of my seconds, maybe my first second, trade up to early second, late first, and draft, draft Adonis Mitchell or draft Lad McConkey and stick him right in there in the slot. McConkey on the Eagles in the slot would be absolutely fantastic. I really don't want Quez Watkins to be our third wide receiver. I said in this video, Devontae Parker I see as a 4, but we'll have to see what happens. Denzel Washington out.